This is Jay Ray from Politics with Dummies, your favorite. My sporting highlight for 2019 was on May 7th when Liverpool beat Barcelona 4-0. Remember that game? Huh, Pies? Remember that? My low light was the Super Bowl on February 3rd when the Patriots beat the Rams 13-3. I have no idea to this day why Todd Gurley wasn't in that game. Do you? Does anybody know why Todd Gurley did not play in that fucking game? My prediction for 2020 is that if Liverpool wins through January, you got 7 tough games coming up. If they win those 7, they will clinch the Premier League on April 4th when they beat Manchester City. That's bold, but it is what it is. Love you, love your show.
Hi everyone, it's Colbee here. You can reach me at Colbee6Ref. My highlight for 2019 was obviously Ford winning and Scott McLaughlin winning back-to-back championships, V8 Supercar championships. My low light, being a referee, was obviously the referees' calls this year throughout the entire season, culminating in that disastrous call in the grand final. That was my low light. And my prediction is for next year that I reckon there'll be 3 coaches sacked from the NRL next year. I'm not sure which ones they are, but I'm reckon there'll be 3 coaches sacked next year.
Merry Christmas, listeners. It's Erik Nielsen here, friend of the podcast. You can find me at Erik Nielsen 2759 on Twitter. The highlight of the year for me, in the sporting sense, was pocketing the tidy sum based on the knowledge of my good friends on the Big Bats and Balls podcast. It's the Melbourne Cup. It was a nice little result for me. My low light for the year was the managing skills of Dave Roberts with the Los Angeles Dodgers. In a macro sense, he obviously cost them the National League Division Series. He also stuffed up one weekend when I was at Dodger Stadium this year by mucking around with his rotation, but that's probably the least of his worries at the moment. My prediction for next year it'll be a golden year for New South Wales sport. New South Wales will pick up the Claxton Shield through the Sydney Blue Sox. They'll win the Sheffield Shield. They'll win State of Origin, and a Sydney club will win the AFL Championship this year. And to give you a hot tip, it won't be the Swans. Best of luck to the years ahead, all our listeners, and hopefully I'll come on at some point during the year.
Hi everyone, the producer here, and my sporting highlights for 2019 obviously were the Parramatta Eels in the NRL, top 5 finish, the unveiling of the new Bankwest Stadium, which I'm telling you, it's an amazing stadium. Get out there if you haven't already been. It started at Bankwest with an absolute flogging of the Tigers, ended with an absolute flogging of the Brisbane Broncos. It was a great season and pushes them in the right shape for 2020. The low lights, obviously, the no-man basketball losing the summer comp in the semi-final. The LA Rams losing the NFL Super Bowl. Frankie Dettori costing me money in the Melbourne Cup by taking out a horse late in proceedings and getting protested against, and the parity issues that were in the supercars, which made the whole season pretty much a joke. And my big predictions for 2020, Parramatta to win the NRL Premiership, surprise baby to come out and win the 2020 Melbourne Cup, and No Man to win this summer comp of basketball.
Nathan here at Big Mendy 180. My highlight for 2019, I've got a couple. Would have to be Toby Price winning the Dakar at the start of the year, and Michael Van Gerwen winning the World Dutch Championship at the start of the year. The low light for 2019 would have to be the NRL bunker and all the contractual issues that have come to light surrounding certain players. Also, the Israel Folau thing was a low light. My prediction will be that Toby Price will win the Dakar again in 2020. Michael Van Gerwen will win the darts in 2020, and the Roosters will make it 3 in a row.
Hello, bats and balls. It's the DWS Fleshpuppets here. And my highlight for 2019 would have to be the Canberra Raiders making the grand final. And I told you last year that JT was going to take us there. Good on you, Joseph Tapane. That really tickled my testicles. But oh man, the low light, if you will, of 2019 was that damn referee with that stupid 6 again wave. What are you doing? That really pulled that curly one from my scrotum. But now for my prediction for 2020. Oh, and I'm going to tell you right now. It will be Nick Kyrgios will win a Grand Slam this year. And we'll get a win in the men, and we'll get a win in the women with beautiful Ash Barty. And that's the first time that will happen since I was sucking on my mummy's zipper. So you heard it here first, folks. And remember, the DWS Fleshpuppets are coming to get you.
G'day guys, Swainy here. Look, I'm going to have to say my highlight for 2019, I reckon it's a dead heat. It's probably Tiger Woods winning the Masters. That was just an unbelievable moment in sport, even though I had money on Brooks Koepka and lost by a shot. And I reckon the dead heat is with Sia Khaleesi lifting the World Cup trophy for South Africa, which was just an iconic moment in the sport. An amazing story of rags to riches for that guy, and for a nation that has been in pain, and it could bring them together. My low light, look, it's probably no secret that the Wallabies have been pretty crappy this year, and them getting knocked out in the quarterfinals to England, and Eddie Jones coached England, for that matter, was really a low light. And look, my bold prediction though for next year is that the Wallabies will bounce back and they will win the Bledisloe Cup. I think that was my prediction last year. Didn't happen, even though the Wallabies won that first Bledisloe in Perth. I think it can happen next year with Dave Rennie at the helm. So that is my honourable mention for 2019 is the fact that the 12th man is on Spotify now. What a great end of the year. Merry bloody Christmas.
Hi, this is Lobby from League by the Fireplace. You can find us on Twitter at League by the Fire. My handle is at LobbyLBTF. My highlight of 2019 was the mighty Canberra Raiders making the grand final. Obviously, it wasn't them winning the grand final, but being down in Canberra when they beat South in the preliminary final, biggest game at Bruce Stadium ever. Josh Papali crossing the try to send us to the grand final. That was my definite highlight of 2019 and maybe my life. Low light. In the basketball, I follow the LA Clippers, and we had a really good season last year, relatively speaking. And this year we got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but we had to make a trade to get both those players. We had to get rid of one of my favourite players, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Gone on to OKC, he's playing really well. I just wish we could have kept him to push forward into championship glory. And my prediction for 2020 is that the Canberra Raiders may lose to the Parramatta Eels twice during the regular season, but they'll beat them and knock them out of the finals eventually and go on to win the grand final.
Okay, guys, Pies here. Here's my highlights. I've got a few, so you're going to have to bear with me. Liverpool being European champions, being the best second-place finish in the English Premier League. Looks like they're going to win it this season. Fingers crossed. The opening at Bankwest Stadium and Parramatta's domination of teams there, which was fantastic. Obviously, the GWS Giants making it to the grand final, and the emergence of Marnus Labuschagne to be the 1-2 punch with him and Steve Smith. They can play together for the next 10 years. Looking forward to seeing that. That's the highlights for me. Obviously, the low light, GWS performance in the grand final. Very sad day for Giants fans, but hopefully they can bounce back in the not-too-distant future. My predictions for 2020. The Parramatta Eels will win the NRL Premiership. I can't even say it with a straight face, but seriously, everything's in place. I just think they're going to do it. Eels fans, get excited. It's been great to have you listening for the entire year, and hopefully we'll see you back here in 2020. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.